Hey guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio Paintings. So today we're going to be doing another oil painting. But I'm going to do something a little different. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but we're going to see. So we're only going to have like a little bit of sky up and through here. And then we're going to have like trees. So this is kind of going to be like one level, and then there's going to be like a stream here, but I want like fallen trees. So it's going to be more of a foresty kind of scene if I can pull it off. So that being said, I am going to, we're going to get a little bit of blue in through here, and then we're going to pick up some green and we're going to put it like in through here. So when I do the blue, I'm going to put the blue here, and then I'm going to try to like get the blue where I want my water to be. And then we're going to put the green, and I'll probably just do the first half with the green, and you know, then I can always add more green on the sides down here. So what I've done is I've got burnt sienna. Is that one? Yeah, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, burnt umber, which is a brown, phthalo blue, sap green, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. And I'm going to try to only use these colors on this palette. So yeah, we're gonna see where it gets us. So I'm just gonna pick up some blue, and I'm using my 30 filbert brush because I want to be a little bit more conscious of where my sky is going to be peeking through. And then we're going to go over with some white to bring these colors, you know, to fruition here. So like I said, I don't want much of a sky showing. I just want enough that we're going to be able to do like some peekaboo trees through it. And I know you can't see anything yet, but wait, you will. And I'm just going to wipe off as much of the blue as I can, and then we're just going to go into the green. All right, so now I'm just going to get this green . And I'm overlapping some of the blue. And definitely want more green in through this area, because that's going to be grassy tree things with like fallen trees and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to wipe that green off because I forgot to grab my blue and do I want to get my water source in right now. All right, so let's see. And I know right now you can't see nothing. Hang on, you guys will. So I'm just kind of throwing some And then, you know, if we make the water stream smaller, we just paint over the color. But I just wanted to get like a starting point. All right, so let me just clean this brush off. All right. So, let's see. I'm gonna use a small fan brush, and we're just gonna pick up a little tiny bit of the white, just on the end, and I just want to and I don't want to cover like all of the dark, but I do want there to be, you know, some lighter areas. All right, and I'll just wipe this excess off, and let me just kind of, you know, blend this out. And I'm even using different brushes this time. You know, there's going to be a lot of like greenery over this as well. So, and I'm just going to tip into a little bit more of the white. You know, I do want a few like brighter areas coming through. All right, I guess we'll start with that. So I'm just kind of wiping this brush off. And now I'm going to just pick up some yellow. And just a little bit on the end of my brush. And we're gonna start getting some of that background greenery in. And remember that blue and yellow is going to make a green, so it's going to lighten, you know, as we get into that blue, we're going to get that little bit more lightness. I don't even know if you can see, but you can see the green up in here. And then, you know, we'll just keep lightening as we go. Put a little bit more. So I'm just, you know, getting some of that color So it just looks like it's, you know, really heavily wooded back there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And I'm trying to not use too much paint. Because if I want to layer over this, I don't want it like so thick that it's not working. Because I'm still fairly new with the oils. I absolutely love them, but I'm still, you know, I'm still learning. So obviously this side is brighter, so, you know, we'd be having a little bit more of a light source. All right, so, and then I'm gonna take some yellow and some yellow ochre, which is gonna give us a different color. So maybe these are more bushy, you know, bushes versus actual trees. All right, so I'm liking that. That is doing exactly what I was kind of hoping it was gonna do. So let me take my liner brush and I'm just gonna stick it in a little bit of my paint thinner, and I'm gonna pick up some brown. I'm gonna thin the brown down. And I'm not gonna have like a lot of branches, but I do, I do want a few. And I'm gonna pick a little bit of white up too. Because I mean, obviously we want, you know, some of these branches to kind of, you know, I'm gonna go back over it. Like I said, I don't want a lot. I just want to give the implication that there is, you know, something else in the background here. All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the white just to brighten this up just a little bit. And we're just going to kind of go over some of where the branches are so that, you know, it looks like the branches are behind the leaves. All right, so I think that's perfect. Just a little bit, but not like over the top. And then we'll just come in, just so that it just pushes some of those little bit of branches down. All right, I'm liking that. Okay, so now let me wipe this brush off. And actually, I'll clean it. All right, let me open my soda here, guys. So, I got a hair right here, hang on. All right, I think I'm gonna use this fan brush, and I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the white so we can start getting our water source in. And again, I don't want to cover all of the dark, because I do want to put some rocks, you know, into the river. So right now I'm just trying to get my layout of how I want the stream to go. I'll just pick up a little bit more. All right, so, and let's see, we're gonna have a few little like crash overs. And I am going to we're going to smooth this out here in just a second. All right. Let me just wipe this. And let me take one of my 1-inch brushes here, and we're going to smooth this. So I'll probably have to redo my little waterfalls, but I just, like I said, I want to get just so like we know where our like water source is. You know, and obviously it would be much brighter down here because the light would be coming through more. All right. I'm really liking this so far. So I've got to, let's get a small brush and we're gonna get a few rocks into the water. Because I want to have the water all done in the sides before I put my fallen trees. So I'm going to just go in. I'm going to put brown, the burnt umber on both sides. And then I'm going to pick up some white and blue on the other side. And we're just going to get like a few and I'm trying to get them more in the darker areas. You know, and then we'll put a little bit more in around the edges after. All right, so that's a good little start. And just a little up there. All right. So let's go back in, because we don't have any green down in here yet. So we've got to get some green down in this bottom section here. So instead of just like covering it all like I did up there, I'm going to kind of do it like it's leaves already. And then when we go over it with the lighter color, it will highlight some of these. You know, like maybe this one, it will be like some bushes here. On this side will be maybe more bushes, whereas this side will be a little bit more foliage. And I'm only coming down to about here. And this is going to be like something different. So I'm just picking up the green and just kind of like strategically bringing some over the water. And I know it's hard for you to see. And this one I'm going to bring all the way down to this corner here. All right, now I'm just going to go in. I'm going to start with yellow ochre this time, which is the darker yellow. And which way do I want to go? All right, and take this. And now we're gonna take the lighter yellow, and I'm just gonna brighten up a few, you know, leaving some darkness in there. And now that most of that bright yellow is off, I'm just going to just kind of, but see how they look like they're like fluffy and fuzzy and all right. Now I'm scared to put my dead trees across because I don't want to add any other trees. I like it. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Oh. But see, that's what I mean. When you start painting, you can have one picture in your mind, and then it can totally change as you paint. So just kind of feel what you're painting. And if it changes, it changes. You can always do another one. So I am going to bring some dirt or some, you know, we got to have something going on down here. And then we'll just, just give it a little bit of a highlight. Just pick up just a smidge of the white and there we go. That, oh my gosh, I love it. There's not very often, guys, that I say I like one of my paintings, let alone love it. And this one I am absolutely loving. So before I put my broken tree, and we're gonna probably have like a part of a broken tree here. I might not put as many as I was going to because I really like this painting. And I always have a hard time doing the portrait mode versus landscape. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna just pick up a little bit of the white, and I did get my new liquid white in. So I'm gonna get some of this. I just got it in the mail, so I haven't even, and all I'm gonna do is take my palette knife and scrape off what is on this cover. There we go. And that's gonna be more than enough. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit of the white and we'll thin that down. Wipe my knife here. And we're just gonna start getting a little bit just to like brighten some of the water up. And, you know, obviously this area here would be, and then we'll go around our rocks. And on this one, I think I'm going to leave it textured like that. I'm not going to brush them in. But you could totally, you know, smooth them over if you wanted. And let's see, just get a... All right, so let's start with that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick up that thinner white. And we're just going to kind of do our little waterfalls here. Just so they stand out, you know, a little bit more. All right, so we'll just put a little splash over there. Yeah. Oh, I'm liking it. Okay, so, oh, I'm gonna kick myself for this, I know it. So I'm gonna pick up just the dark brown, and I want it to look like a tree that's broken off. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in with my filbert brush and we're just gonna get it in, and then I will like shape it. And then we'll use the palette knife to give it, I might add a little bit of brown, I mean a little bit of black in some of these areas here. And let me, you know what, let's just do the one and see if I can make it look like I want. I'm gonna pick up some white and mix it in with the brown. That's a little too light. Go back in with some of the dark. All right. And I'm going to take just a smidge of black, just because I want that to have a little bit more depth. Because you definitely want like different, especially if it's a dead tree. I think that brown that I used was definitely too light. So we're just gonna go over it with some of the black. And all right, we're just gonna pick up a little bit of the brown and the white in with that. Just adding like a little grayish to this. All right, I think all right. All right, so I think that I mean, I have to have those a little bit lighter so that, you know, it kind of shows. All right, I think that looks okay. Whew. Now, I really wished I hadn't put it, but it's there, so I've got to go with it. Let's take the liner brush and let's go into some of the black. Let me thin that down just a smidge. Okay. Just gonna pick up a smidge of white. A little black. All right, wipe this off, and I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that black and the brown. All right. So let's go back to our green. Some of the yellow. So it almost looks like this connects to that, even though it doesn't. I think I'm going to put the branch right here. All right. So let me take some black and some brown. And, oh, I'm nervous. All right. Wipe this. I'm gonna go back to a palette knife. I'm gonna pick up the burnt sienna this time, more reddy color. And actually, I'm gonna add some into this tree. And that way, you know, these trees are gonna kind of look like they're from the same forest. All right, that looks better. And all right, I'll loosen this up just a smidge. So I'm just tapping. I'm just picking some more up, which is going to give it that texturally, like bark look. And maybe a smidge of white in that, just to give a little bit of a highlight onto the just so that it and I'm gonna take my small fan brush and we're gonna do the brown with a touch of black and give it some all right, I'm not going to do a lot because I don't want to ruin it. Oh. And this one will be available to purchase if anybody is inclined to. I'm liking it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this reddish up, just to kind of like tie it all together. All right. Let me get a different liner brush because that one just really stinks. And I'm gonna take some of the brown, black, and burnt sienna. And liking this. All right, let me wash this. Guys, I don't even know if I want to do anything else other than maybe add some more rocks, you know, like in the grassy kind of bits. Let me just wash some of these brushes here. And I'm just using the odorless mineral spirits. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to add a few more rocks. All right, my last one here. All right. Okay, let me get, I'm gonna take some of the brown and some of the black and mix it. So I want, just want to put like a few, like really like rocks that are gonna stand out. Let's see. All right, now I'm gonna pick up a little bit of white. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm gonna take that same color mixture and then put some white on one side. I'm not taking off too much. And oh, I'm doing these wrong. Hang on, guys. There we go. All right, now I need, maybe I'm gonna use, let me really thin down. Let me get a, my other liner brush. I have one that I absolutely love, and I think this is it. It's not as long as my other ones, but I don't know, just kind of giving a little something. And then I'll just go back over, put some greenery there. All right. Now I'm just going to go back with, I'm going to take some green and yellow. And I'm actually even going to put a smidge of white in there just to kind of, you know, put some of these back. Just going to take a little bit more yellow, and we're just going to all right, guys, I am going to call this one done, because if I keep messing with it, I'm going to ruin it, and I love it. So the only thing that I maybe do is put just a little bit of something right in there. All right, guys. Let me put a signature on this, and we are going to call this one done. I'm going to take some blue and some white, and I'm using the liquid white because I still have that on my palette here, just to thin down my blue. And I'm going to there we go, guys. So let me hold that up for you so you can there we go. That way you can see it up close. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have an idea for another painting, put it in the comments and let me know. Alrighty, guys. Bye.